overall, I don't think it's that horrendous. So everyone crying about it, I feel like they're just...
Yeah, but it could have been a so much better squad.
I think it's a hard one to predict. Yeah, there's so many teams that could win it.
I think Tuchel's main attraction to picking that squad was more squad harmony over cohesion.
Now, obviously, as much as a joke, Kane is going to be the starter, but I think Tony is such a good player to have coming off the bench. No one's mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo. Probably
Does he even start though?
Welcome to the UCFB World Cup 26 podcast. I'm your host Matthew. I'm joined by Kian, Ronnie, and Ethan. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah, really good. Yeah,
Excited for the World Cup.
Yeah.
living the dream.
Yeah.
Going to win the whole thing.
England got a good chance.
Well, to start with, what do you guys think of Tuchel's first England squad at a major tournament?
I don't think it's too bad. Like everyone's been like crying about it. I don't think it's that bad. Obviously, you're missing out a few names. You've got Gibbs White missing, which obviously you're not going to be happy about.
Gutted.
Maguire missing out, which I'm not too fond of. But overall, I don't think it's that horrendous. So everyone crying about it, I feel like they're just...
Yeah, but it could have been a so much better squad.
I think Maguire's the big name for me that's left out. I think he's one that's always performed in an England shirt.
I think Tuchel's main attraction to picking that squad was more squad harmony over cohesion. Like, you look at his press conference, how he's talking, he was saying more like he could have picked the best 26 players, but he picks the squad that he's going to win the World Cup, which I think is why he's gone with the players he's gone with. Like Jordan Henderson, probably not even top 10 sixes in the Premier League or English Premier League CDMs. So I feel like it's definitely to do with squad cohesion. Southgate in previous tournaments talking about the leadership group. He's obviously part of that as well with Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice. So I'm assuming that's why he's gone.
Yeah. Other than Jordan Henderson, are there any players in that squad that you wouldn't have wanted to see go there? Obviously, Jordan Henderson's one that's been discussed.
I've always said this. I wouldn't have taken Dan Burn.
Dan Burn?
I think there's other options, especially with Lewis Hall missing out. I know you could say Burns obviously is at half, but I think Lewis Hall missing out is an absolute shocker.
Other than Jordan Henderson, probably. Oh yeah, I agree with Dan Burn, to be fair, but Jed Spence as well. I think. I mean, not taking Lewis Hall and taking Jed Spence. I agree he's a specialist and obviously he's rapid, but
And he can play both sides.
Lewis Hall's got experience against top wingers like Yamal, so that's another one that I don't really understand. But
I also think taking Stones is a massive risk. I think he's actually going with an injury, isn't he? I might be wrong on that.
I'm not sure, but
we know
way,
what his injury record's like. He's not played a total amount.
He's not had a lot of minutes this season.
Yeah, but he has experience in other World Cups, though.
Again, he's a player I think who's there for his leadership ability and the experience he has. Looking at the front line, Ivan Toney's one that's generated a lot of discussion online. Could he rival Harry Kane to be England's top scorer at this tournament, do you think?
Yeah, good claim. Great claim.
I'm not saying I think that.
I mean, he's scored goals, but then he is playing out in a league where 95% of people do not watch. So he could be absolutely flying out there, but then again, the quality isn't
I
right
also
in the Bundesliga, so there's no way Tony scores as many goals.
But I also think if he was in the Premier League, he would still get around 15 odd goals.
Most probably. But is he gonna?
I'm happy he's going. To be honest, I thought Welbeck missing out was a harsh one as well.
No, Welbeck. In my opinion, I think Welbeck should have gone. I would have taken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's harsh Welbeck missing out.
Oh, I forget.
I do think Tuchel's talks a lot about having specialists though, and having Tony as a penalty taker in that penalty shootout, bring him on.
Oh yeah.
For the last 10 minutes of extra time, you know he's going to score. So I think that's a huge thing. And you look at the penalty shootouts that England have missed out on before. Having players specifically for that is quite important, I think.
Yeah. Now, obviously, as much as a joke, Kane is going to be the starter, but I think Tony is such a good player to have coming off the bench to
Watkins
replace
is there as well.
Yeah.
And you've got Watkins as well.
And he's just come off European glory as well. So
we've not actually talked about Palmer.
No.
Yeah.
What do you think of him missing out? Would you have taken him?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I understand it, but there's also players in there that I'm surprised they didn't go as a 10. I mean, the better debate, I think, is who's going to start out of Bellingham or Rodgers.
I think it'll be Bellingham.
I think
it will be Bellingham, especially because he got given the number 10 shirt.
Yeah, well, we've kind of discussed England's front line here. Who do we think might be top scorer at the tournament in general?
I've gone a little bit out there. I've gone with Kai Havertz on the basis that they've got a relatively easy group. So
I get that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Wait, hold, pause. They've got the group of death. They've got the worst group.
Germany,
Ecuador, Ivory Coast, Germany.
Yeah,
and then Curacao, but Curacao did obviously.
So unless he scores 5 or 6 against Curacao, you might be in trouble with that one.
Ecuador have a backline of William Pacho, Estupinan.
Yeah, but I reckon because Germany have got a pretty good team, I reckon that he'll just chip in with a few goals here and there, and he'll just keep ticking over.
I
and
can't back Kai
He
Havertz.
could,
No.
he could get there.
Who have you guys gone for?
I think for me it depends who gets further out of England and France, because for me it's between Mbappe and Kane. I know it's boring.
I think the boring answer is Kane or Mbappe.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
those
it
are
is
the two big
boring.
names.
I do think even if Mbappe doesn't win it or does get Golden Boot, I do think he'll break Klose's record in this tournament.
Yeah.
Could be,
He'll get
yeah.
all-time World Cup goal scorer in this tournament.
Obviously, it just depends how far either
Yeah.
side get.
I think people think Spain because they'll go far, but you can't really pick a
Spain
goal
don't have.
scorer.
Yeah, they're going to be more of a team that they have multiple players.
I
share the
chipping
goals
in.
around.
I just think it's Kane. I don't think you should gloss over it too much, to be honest.
I'm
So,
going to
so you
say
think Harry Kane definitely your top scorer at this
I think
tournament?
so.
I'm going to go Mbappe because I think France.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a
So
rogue.
boring, lads. Have a
No,
bit
no,
of fun with it.
I'm getting to my rogue one. Considering they've got such a poor front line, and I feel like their whole squad's really good, I think Daniel Marlon is an underrated shout for this. Purely because he's got 14 goals in 18 games since going to into Serie A for Roma. He's in hot form, and that front line is uninspiring for Netherlands. It's not that great. You've
Yeah.
I
got
think it depends.
Depay at Corinthians as well. Like,
I think it
Again, I'm
depends-
not-
sorry.
Gakpo.
I'm not saying I would
Yeah,
say him,
Gakpo.
but no one's mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo. Probably
does
his
he
last
even
tournament.
start though?
Lionel Messi as well.
Oh, they
Either
do
of them?
start, but
Alvarez is a good shout actually.
Alvarez.
I like
I do
Alvarez
like
a lot.
Julian Alvarez. Yeah. It depends if Argentina can make it far though.
I don't think Messi will. I think he'll be more just a creator. because
He'll be a
he's not-
player that they play through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that. How are England going to do? Can they go all the way? Can they win the World Cup for the first time since
well,
1966?
from the way I've predicted it, I've got us playing Brazil in the quarters,
It's that quarter final, isn't it?
and that with there'll be more Brazilians there than England fans there. 100 just because where
Where
it's
it is,
located.
yeah.
So they'll obviously have like the home backing, but then also there's a scenario where we have to play Mexico
At the Azteca.
exactly at their home ground. So that'll be like another away
Very
game.
intimidating.
Also, Mexico fans are mental. So
In a good way.
yeah, not. So I reckon that game will be hard, but then even if we play Brazil, I reckon that's also going to be equally as hard, even if not the hardest game we'll have to play the whole tournament. But I reckon we'll get to the last 16 or the quarters. That'll be it.
I really liken it to the last World Cup where it felt like if we got past France in that quarter final, we would have gone the whole way. I
Yeah.
feel like this is a similar case. We are going to get in that round of 16 a tough fixture, like, no matter what, or quarter final. There's going to be a tough game. Like France are on our side of the draw if they win the group, and we win the group. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't win the group anyway. But it could be one of those cases where we come second, draw 2, win 1, and get an easier route to the final somehow. But
Yeah, but that could be the play though. That could
yeah,
be the-
I know, and it was in 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that. But if we get to the final, I feel like we'll win it. But there's also an equal amount of chance that we get knocked out in quarterfinals.
I've said the whole time I don't think we'll get past round of 16, unfortunately.
Wow, that's a bold prediction.
I just
Bold.
don't think, apart from like your forwards, I don't think we have like that kind of standout defender. Apart from, you could say
I do
James
think
or
Gahey's a
Gahey.
little bit overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, he's not world class.
I think
Yeah,
he's become a bit
that's-
overrated
that's the
recently.
That's the thing that concerns me. You look at all these other nations, well, the top nations, they've all got these world-class defenders. I don't think we have that, apart from possibly...
But I'd say a lot of teams are lacking in defence. Like
Yeah.
France's defence doesn't really ring strong to me.
Really?
And I also
No.
think
Saliba, Upamecano.
I think if you
Apparently, he's got to have surgery, Saliba.
Oh, yeah, he's injured, isn't
if you look at England's team as well, though, you've got Rice and Anderson as those two midfielders.
Yeah.
I think both of them provide you with a lot of defensive cover that might mean some of the pressure's taken off of those centre backs.
I think the heat plays a massive factor in this as well.
It does.
Massive factor, which
Can't
favours
ignore it.
South American teams, I think, a lot.
Well,
It's not like playing a cold, windy night at Stoke, though, is it?
no, it's
No.
not. But you've brought me on nicely there. Who do we think are some teams that might unexpectedly get quite far at this tournament?
I've gone USA. I've gone USA just because it's
I
their home
don't
tournament.
mind it.
It's
I
their
think they
home
crash. I think they completely crash
No,
out.
It's their home tournament. Their strike force of what? Hadji Wright, Balogun, Tillman just in the midfield.
Break-
There's a
break-
reason Hadji Wright's in the Championship, though. I would point that out.
Yeah,
I know
you just
Coventry
listed
have
now
the
Prem-
promoted
now
him.
Prem-
Free.
Now Premier League.
I know, but
Tyler-
there's a reason he's not got that move yet.
Tyler Adams in midfield as well. Anthony Robinson.
This is like
It's their
there's-
home tournament, though.
You've not named one world class player or even elite player.
No.
It's their home tournament.
No way. No way.
Who are you gone for then, Ronnie? Because you disagree with the USA.
I think Ancelotti's Brazil has got a very underrated shout here. It's purely because I mentioned the heat conditions as well. They're Brazilians. They're going to work very well in this sort of heat. I understand that their record recently has been horrendous, but they've got the feel good factor. I feel like I think getting Neymar included as well gets the fans on side. I think a lot more as well. The problem is figuring out how that front line is going to work. I do think it's going to be, I think, Vinicius, Endrick, not Rodrigo, Rafinha, and I think that's really strong front three. Got Bruno Guimaraes in midfield. I think Casemiro's come off the back of an amazing season at Man United.
Yeah.
So he could definitely be involved. There's a lot to like about that Brazil team, I think. Especially Gabriel Marquinhos, great back line.
Right, I mean,
It's crazy that João Pedro's not gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big one.
I understand that, because if you ask a Brazil fan or Brazilians that are in Brazil, João Pedro's not played well for Brazil.
No.
He's not. And people get surprised by like a Luis Enrique getting involved when he plays for Zenit. But every time he's played for Brazil, he's played fantastic.
Yeah. The one team for me that I'm struggling to look past at the moment, purely because of their midfield, and I know their attack's not great, is Portugal. I think that midfield is going to dominate because
I do think they've got a best midfield.
You've got two players who start next to each other week in, week out at their club as well, and Vitinha and João Neves.
Then feeding Bruno as well.
That's what I mean. That midfield is ridiculous.
They were a joke in the Champions League final, especially Neves.
So I think Vitinha. For me, Vitinha's...
Yeah, I'd prefer Vitinha.
I really struggle to look
like
past
Neves.
that midfield. I think if they come up against one of the top sides in the tournament, if they win that midfield battle, you've got Bruno Fernandes providing assists.
I think it's more of a case of when.
Well, yeah, when they win that midfield battle.
Yeah.
If you can get those strikers to be clinical...
Oh, obviously, we've not mentioned Spain, but Spain are the favourites.
Spain are the favourites. Well, we'll get on to that in a bit. Have you got any players
you've
you'd
not
like
asked
to
my
point
team
out?
yet.
Oh, okay, who's your team?
I'm not saying they're going to get really far, but I like the look of Japan.
They're always a well-structured team, I think.
Yeah, they always
really Toma's not in the tournament.
Yeah, but
Toma not going
that's
is
kind of like
crazy.
Japan's culture, very like regimented and very like.
Yeah. I really like their midfield. Some of their midfield options look really good.
Kamada in big games, I've noticed for Palace has been very good as well.
I like the goalkeeper a lot.
Suzuki's
Yeah,
he'll go to the
really
club.
like him. Defence, maybe it's the part that probably lets Japan down.
But they do play a 5-back, so
They do.
Yeah, so obviously they've got Tomiyasu in there, and strike force is Maeda. Is it Maeda?
no, I think Ueda.
sorry.
Ueda's a very underrated player. He's
Yeah.
top scorer in Eredivisie. I think he could have a good tournament.
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah, I really think Japan could have a decent World Cup. Not saying they're going to get semi-finals or anything, but I can maybe see.
They always
Japan
end up in the quarters anyway.
Yeah, I
don't
can
they?
see them in the quarters at least.
Yeah. Now, just very quickly before we predict our winner, who is one player who you think we should watch out for at this tournament?
Oh, I'm going to go with Matovic, the Freiburg striker from Croatia.
Yeah.
11 goals in the German league. Like again, brought Freiburg to the European final.
I reckon Vuskovic scores more than him.
Ronnie, who's your player?
I had so many in mind. After looking at every team, like there's just so many that it will make their career this World Cup. But I'm going to say Ismail Saibari, Moroccan right
Going to
winger.
Bayern.
He's been rumoured to go to Bayern after, and they didn't get Anthony Gordon, so that's also another reason why. PSV, 15 goals, 8 assists. Got called up for the Moroccan team, has a good record. So I feel like if Morocco are going to progress, he's going to be a very good attacker in that, as is Brahim Diaz, obviously. But
Yeah, Kim?
I've gone down my Japan route again. I've gone Sano, plays for Mainz, midfielder. He's not going to be one that stands out, but he's going to be one that does his job perfectly. I've watched him actually in a few games. I watched Mainz against Strasbourg in the conference. Looks really solid. He scored a goal in that game. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a move to the Premier League or a bigger club this summer.
I'd like one more shout after this. But
Yeah. Go on, you say yours.
Considering France's midfield has been like not what it was, Camavinga not getting called up as well, and Tchouameni having the issues that he's had off the pitch this season, I think Manu Kone has got a really good chance of cementing himself as a starter. And he's always been a player, even before Roma at Borussia Mönchengladbach. I've been always so excited to watch. He's such a great ball carrier. He could really elevate that midfield in a midfield that isn't confirmed. Like it used to be Pogba, Kante. Kante's now 35 years old at Al Ittihad. Pogba's now out away from football. At Fenerbahce, sorry. Was it Al Ittihad at the last tournament?
Yeah.
But yeah, Fenerbahce now. They need a midfield rejuvenation. I think he's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Especially with like the issues as well. Like
Yeah.
See, I haven't gone down such an unknown route, but one player in the Premier League who I think's he's not gone under the radar because he has had his flowers now. But Yuri Tielemans for Belgium, I think they need a good tournament here.
Mika Götze as well,
And-
Belgium.
Yeah, but that midfield that Belgium have, I think it is one of the better ones. Obviously, it's not nowhere near the level of Portugal, but it's a very good midfield. Who do we think is going to win the tournament then? It's a difficult one to predict.
we'll be patriotic. We'll say England's going to.
You're saying
Even
England?
though I did say they're going to get to the quarterfinals. Max.
I think it's
But
a
we'll
really
go England
unpredictable
will
one.
win it.
I think it's a hard one to predict. Yeah, there's so many teams that could win it.
I feel like there's going to be like an emergence, as there was in previous tournaments.
I'm going to say Spain.
You're saying Spain? Yeah.
No, if I was to
We've
give
not
it-
even talked about Argentina. Nico Paz as well.
No,
That's another player.
I was going to say, if I was to give my actual opinion, I think Argentina.
Yeah,
No, I don't think Argentina.
I don't think they'll back to back it. To be honest,
Purely because I feel like I've been worried about the pitch conditions as well at this tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks awful.
I feel like Brazil have got a really good chance.
that's really annoying. 'Cause that's what I was
I
going to
just
say
think
as well.
Brazil. Yeah.
I think the South American teams have the advantage with the climate here,
I just trust Ancelotti as a man manager.
and Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we've got time for. So thank you for watching the UCFB World Cup 26 podcast. Keep an eye out on our socials for more.